So the next item we sold was this 1996 vintage Mars Attacks figure. Now this was an opener, and for those of you that aren't part of the action figure collectible world, when you see an ad on eBay or whatever other platform you're looking at, and the item says it's an opener, that means that the card is probably really damaged, the bubble is really damaged, and so you're buying this carded figure to open and display the figure loose. Hey everybody, it is Monday, April 28th, and I didn't put out a video on Friday. Last week was just a different week for me. Had to spend a lot more time in the house. Just came out, shipped my items, listed a few things, and went back inside. So I just wanted to do a quick video showcasing the stuff that we sold last week. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This first item here, this is a Pixar Toy Story Woody and Jessie lot. There's 3 items. I think I paid 25 cents a piece, so I'm less than $1 into this lot. And it sold for $16.19. So $27.18 shipped for that item is what the buyer paid. I believe I put that up at a yard sale last summer. The next item that we sold is a set of LED submersible boat trailer lights. Now, we bought these at a benefit sale last summer, and I want to say we bought like 13 or 14 cases of these, and we spent a lot of money on them. But they sell at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, small hardware stores like True Value and Ace. And they sell anywhere from like $60 to $70 a piece at these stores. But in order to make it worth it for people to buy them on eBay from me, I got to lower my price, obviously, because of shipping. So we listed them for $29.99. And we've sold a few. We've probably sold a case. So we've probably sold like 8 or 10 of these. Not a whole lot. But the buyer paid $49.59 shipped for the item. So $50. They save themselves, $10 to $20, and they've got to wait for the item to get to them. So I feel like $30 is the most I can charge for these. But I also have been selling some of the cases to a local boat dealer and repair shop. So, and he's been buying a case probably like once every few months. So that's kind of helping too. So I'm getting really close to getting about half my money back that I've spent on these so far. And I still have cases and cases and cases of them. So it's going to be profitable at some point. It's just taking a long time for them to sell. And I kind of had a feeling when I bought these, that was going to be the case. I got a super good deal on them, but they're just really slow selling items. So that's fine. We'll make our money eventually. It's just going to take a while. So the next item we sold was this 1996 vintage Mars Attacks figure. Now this was an opener, and for those of you that aren't part of the action figure collectible world, when you see an ad on eBay or whatever other platform you're looking at, and the item says it's an opener, that means that the card is probably really damaged, the bubble is really damaged, and so you're buying this carded figure to open and display the figure loose. This particular figure that we sold, it had a lot of water damage. I don't know if it's just from collecting moisture for a lot of years or what, but there was a lot of water damage. We have a couple more of these on our eBay store right now. They're listed as openers, and the prices reflect that. So they're about the same price as you would be buying a loose figure, but probably a tad more, just because the figure in the packaging is still in great condition. So technically it's in mint condition. So it hasn't been played with. There's no paint wear or anything like that. So I've been pricing them just a little bit over loose values. So this one sold for $11.69 plus shipping. The buyer paid $20.37 shipped for the item. So that was a good sale, considering that it was a pretty damaged item, packaging wise. The next item we sold was this Super Mario Brothers Peach action figure, and it's brand new in the packaging. This is from the mega toy lot that we bought, and it sold for $13.49 plus shipping. The buyer paid $21.88 shipped for that item. Now this next item is actually an air conditioner remote control, and it was new, sealed in the packaging at the thrift store when we picked it up. I want to say we paid $1 for it, maybe $1.99, something like that. I was really surprised by the comps when I did the research in the store. And so we listed this for $24.99, and it went on 10% off. So it sold for $22.49 plus shipping. The buyer paid a total of $30.45 shipped for that remote. That was a great find. I usually don't find anything at thrift stores. You know, in my last video, I had a hat that I found. So that's like 2 great finds this year so far, but that's rare. So the next couple items we sold, I'll put them up here like this. There are 2 stickers from Dutch Brothers, and they're from 2023, and they sold for $4.27 a piece. So, and the buyer paid for standard envelope shipping, which is 69 cents. So they paid about $10 for the 2 stickers shipped. And then the next item we sold is this Ocean's 11 VHS tape from 2001. It is sealed, brand new. Even though it's sealed and brand new, it still doesn't sell for a whole lot. I mean, it is a VHS, and it sold for $4 plus shipping. I think we had it listed for like, I want to say $7.99, and then it was 10% off. And then someone shot me an offer. It's been listed since last summer, so I just took it. The buyer paid $9.23 for this item. This particular item we picked up for free at basically it was kind of like a hoarder's clean out. The family was just putting items out in the front yard for free, and people were just coming and filling bags, filling their cars. There was a lot of good stuff, and I still haven't listed most of the stuff that I got from that. I think I spent hours there, and I would just fill up my bag, I would take it to my car, dump it out in the back, and then go back and start getting more. There was a bunch of vintage clothes. We got some really cool, like, Looney Tunes, hoodies, sweaters, and some Charlie Brown, Peanuts, sweatshirts and stuff like that. We got some new unopened perfume. I think we sold that for like $100, like just a few days after listing it back last summer when we got it. So, and there's still tons of stuff that I haven't listed yet that are still in totes in my shop. So that's a great sell in my opinion. After fees and stuff, we're probably looking at like $4.50 on an item that we got for free. So it all adds up in the end. The next item that we sold was a Pokemon card binder. Now this is a brand new card binder. We picked this up off Whatnot of all places. I was just in a Whatnot show the other night, and someone asked for Pokemon stuff, and the guy said, I don't have any Pokemon cards. The only thing I have is this binder, and he put it up. I think he started it at like $2, and I won the item for $9, $8, something like that. With shipping, it was like $13. So we paid $13 for this. Kind of high, but it is brand new, and it is Pokemon, so I knew it would sell quickly. I got it in on Thursday, and I listed it, and it sold on Friday. So it sold the very next day. It sold for $20.69 plus shipping. The buyer paid $33.01 shipped for the item. And I think I ended up with a profit of like $21 on the item after it sold. So not too bad of a pickup, you know, $8, something like that. So that's not terrible, but I thought it was just kind of fun to try to grab something off Whatnot and try to flip it and make some money off of it. And it worked. So I've seen a lot of people on their YouTube channels talking about picking up stuff super cheap on Whatnot and Dibbed It and other district shows. So it's definitely a place to source. You just got to look out for the right items. Soda City Flips posted in his video on YouTube just a couple weeks ago that he picked up an item for like $2 and ended up selling it for like almost $100 or more than $100, something like that. So there's definitely opportunities for sourcing on these live auction shows. I've started looking into it more. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing it, but so that's just a case in point. I did make some money off that binder, not a ton, but we did make some money. So the next item that we sold was this Funko Pop. It is the Davy Jones from Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean. And this was kind of, it's not a high-end Funko Pop, but low end is like $5 to $10. So this definitely sold for more than that. I guess a mid-range Funko Pop. It sold for $36 plus shipping. The buyer paid $45.78 shipped. It did come with a protector, which kind of helps sell Funko Pops. If you got protectors, throw those on and include that in your ad. And that will usually get your items sold before someone else that doesn't offer a protector when you're shipping the item. So that was a good flip. That came from the Mega Toy Horde, our toy haul. So we've got like $2.50 into that item. So not bad. And the next item that we sold is this mid 2000s. No, I think it's from like 2014. So 2013, 2014 My Little Pony figure. And it's sealed. It was in pretty good shape. It sold for $26.99 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $37.69 shipped for that item. And I got a bunch of these My Little Ponies from that particular year range. I want to say that they sold those from like 2012 to 2016, somewhere around in there. And I think they're Gen 4 or 5 for the My Little Ponies. When I was shown the lot, I bought it sight unseen, really. I was just shown pictures. My dad sent me pictures of the lot when he was up in Washington visiting family. And I said, what's the date on them? And he told me the dates on the back of the toys. And I thought, well, they're modern. They're new. They're fairly new. They're not going to be worth anything. You know, so I offered super low on the lot. And lo and behold, they're worth a lot of money. I had no idea. And they're actually very collectible. So, and we've sold a bunch of them already. I've made my money back and then some. So that one's pure profit. And we sold one more My Little Pony item over the weekend, last weekend, and it was this playset, and it's from 2014. It's a sealed playset, and it sold for $89.99 plus shipping. The buyer paid $115.21 shipped for this item. That's incredible. I'm totally blown away that these are as collectible as they are. Maybe it's because they're a total redesign of the ponies from the past. They look completely different. So maybe that's it. I'm not sure. Most of the time, toys don't get that collectible until people paying that much until like 20 years down the road. So they're like 10 years ahead of schedule. So that's really cool. Now that I know that, I have seen and passed on a bunch of these particular generation of My Little Ponies at yard sales, like bags full with accessories for like $1, you know, and I had no idea. And loose, they're still selling for like $10 to $20 a piece. Some of them even more than that. There's some like rare Target exclusives that even the loose pony can sell for $80. So definitely something to keep your eye out for when you're outsourcing is My Little Pony Generation 4 or 5, whatever gen these are from 2014 and on. Definitely be picking those up. And even if you have just lot them up, you know, if you get a bag of them for $1 to $5, just throw them all in a lot and put them up for auction or put a price on them just for easy listing. They're definitely worth picking up for sure. So guys, that's all the stuff that we sold last week. And that's from the weekend before through the last weekend. So we will do a video today starting with what we sold this last weekend moving forward. So sorry, that's probably really confusing, but so trying to get caught up on content here. So also I did get a chance to come out to the office last week for a few minutes, and I got the office cleaned up. It feels so much better out here. You guys can probably see in the video that there's not a ton of stuff behind me. So I'll probably do another video and do a quick walk around, show you guys my collection, show you some other things that we've changed around in here and some of our plans for this room. So we'll go ahead and do that too. Thank you guys so much for following us and watching our videos. Something else that I've learned too recently is if you like our videos, that tells the algorithm to share our videos with more people. So the more people that like our videos, the more people are going to be able to see them. So we'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. We love you guys. We thank you so much for tuning in every week. See you on the next one. Nostalgia's where it's at. I can prove it. Come on in here and just take a look at it. Look no further.